Good morning. Yep, good morning. That's right, it's me, Uncle Lou, live for you on LouTube today. Yeah, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. More college football today. NCAA 2014, which of course is the newest version of this game. They quit making it because of petty lawsuits. Yeah, but I do have the updated rosters for 2017. So the most current rosters and the most current version of the game. This is on the Xbox 360. So we're gonna we'll pick a couple of teams and play a game here in just a minute. We have to. And we're going to too. Good morning. Morning, Jack, Sean, Sketchy, good morning. Jerome, KP, Mr. Potion, Grant, Mike, Master of Dreams, Atlanta Fan for Life, good morning. Yeah, good morning. Give me just a second, we'll get started, okay? Who y'all want to see play today? Let me know. We need some teams. We're done with the worst of the worst playoff. The Uncle Lou worst of the worst college football playoff finished up on Tuesday. So we need some new teams or a new idea for matchups or something. So who's it going to be? Who are we going to play today? What two teams? Is there a rematch from last season y'all want to see? Let me know. Yeah, or maybe a game from last season that you wish we would have got to see, like in a bowl game or something, but we didn't get to see it. Anyway, you get the idea. Let me know. Who do we need to play today? Let me know. And I think I'm gonna actually play too. So whatever game you pick, whatever game y'all want to see me play, pick a team for me to play too, because I actually want to play this time instead of just watch. I watched during that tournament because that was just a fair thing to do, because I legit wanted to know who the worst team was without any interference from yours truly. Yeah, so that's what I went ahead and did. But this time I actually want to play. So, yeah. Let me know. Who do we want to see? Let's see. UJ versus Texas A&M. That would be a good one. Tennessee and Florida. Kentucky and Georgia. Buckeyes versus Clemson. That didn't work out too well for the Buckeyes last time. Georgia Tech versus Tennessee. Two crappy programs. Say what you want, but that was one of the better games of the year last year. When you look back over the course of the season, I know that was week 1 on Labor Day or whatever, that Monday night, but that was a hell of a game. Went to overtime. Georgia Tech was dominating. Tennessee came back and won. That was a good game. Auburn versus Washington. That's a good one, and that's one that's coming up this season. I'm going to do a series of these on games that I'm looking forward to for next season. So let's hold off on the Auburn versus Washington for now. I'm going to come up with a whole list, like top 5 or top 10 games for next season, and we'll play those on here. But let's hold off on those until we come up with the whole list. Auburn versus Buckeyes. Notre Dame versus Georgia. UJ versus Miami is a good idea. Virginia Tech versus West Virginia. UJ versus Southern Cal. I would love to play Southern Cal. UCF versus Alabama. Find out who the real champion is. Is that the idea there? Oh yeah, now we're ready. Now we're ready.
EA Sports.
Now we are, I think, officially ready. All right, so what's the winner here? Use a triple option team. Good morning, Alan. Grant, IB, Skippy, John Bryant, Macon Greens, good morning. Yeah, Sean Rigdon, good morning, sir. SEC Dog. I hope I got everybody. Kylo Dog. Mr. Wilson! Dennis Wilson, good morning. Miami-Dade High School versus UGA. I mean, Miami-Dade is, I guess, considered a powerhouse amongst, you know, high school in terms of nationwide. But let's get real. They wouldn't compete with a Power 5 team, sir. Come on. Step your trolling up there, dude. Go Dogs, number 1, good morning. Whatever to watch, good morning. Sorry about that. Hoghead, good morning. Melon Matt, good morning. If anybody's on that I met in Athens today, good morning. Hold on. For some reason, it's not connected to Xbox Live. Hold on. Any of you guys that have been wanting to play me, I responded to a bunch of y'all's emails today. People that wanted to play me in this game. I responded to a bunch of y'all emails. Now, I'm not real sure how all that works, but I'm pretty sure y'all have to friend me on here or something. The name is Uncle Lou here, so you'd have to message me or friend me. Here's some here. Good morning. Look at Slim Mosley right there. Good morning. There we go. Now this ought to work now. Ohio State versus Georgia. The background sound is too loud. The game volume is too loud. Is that what you're saying? Is that better? Hey, good morning. Is that better? Let me know if that's better. I turned the game volume down some on the Elgato. KP, I got you. Don't abuse the privilege, sir. Oh my God, the trolls are winning. Now it's too quiet. Alright, I'm leaving it like that. One of the mods, Potion or KP, tell me if the sound is okay. I can trust y'all. I can't trust the trolls. They're still winning. UGA versus Southern Cal or Penn State. Penn State might be fun because they have Saquon Barkley. Let's see. Penn State or Southern Cal. I'll play whichever team is ranked higher. How about that? So let's see. Where's Penn State ranked? Ooh, number 6. Southern Cal's number 4. Should I play Southern Cal? Most votes right now, Southern Cal or Penn State. I'm going to play either Southern Cal or Penn State. Who's it going to be? I would destroy Florida State if I played them. I would destroy Penn State. Florida State sucks, man. I mean, what'd y'all win? 6 games? You guys are terrible, man. You lost 1 player, couldn't win a friggin' game, man. Pathetic and sad. Listen, let me tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a story about 2 teams. Both teams lost their starting quarterback week 1. One team went on to embarrass themselves week after week, begging a nobody to play a meaningless game after the season was over just so they could backdoor their way to a bowl game. The other team won their division, won their conference, won a playoff game, the Rose Bowl, and played in the national championship game, losing by 3 in overtime. That's the story of 2 teams. I respect Florida football. Miami was a good team. Central Florida was a good team. South Florida was a good team. Florida State and the Gators sucked last year. I mean, you don't have to be... It doesn't take Kirk Herbstreit to figure that one out, does it? Oh, good morning, DeGoat Watson. Good morning. Yeah, we choked in the national title game. You choked in 6 meaningless regular season games, sir. You were absolutely terrible. You lost 1 starter and couldn't beat your way out of a wet paper bag. I mean, you guys were terrible. You're miles away from being anything meaningful or relevant. I didn't even know what the hell a Taggart was. I had no clue until I seen trolls in the comments section talking about Taggart, Taggart, Taggart. Oh, what's up, Ryan? Going good, man. Yes, I am definitely going to G-Day. I go every year. I'll be there for sure. 100%. I'll be there all day. The game's at 4 in the afternoon. I'll be up there by 9 or 10 in the morning. I spend most of my time at G-Day, in case anyone's curious. Near the Hull Street parking deck. Across the street, there's a library, special collections library, I think it is. And there's a big grassy lot out front of that library, and that's where Uncle Lou's at most of the day, up until about an hour or 2 before I go into the stadium, and then I walk up towards where the student center is, spend a little bit of time there, and then I head into the stadium. I look forward to seeing a lot of you guys there, though. I think we're going to have a sellout again this year. Of course, 2 years ago, Kirby's first year was unbelievable. If you were there, you know what I'm talking about. Sanford Stadium holds about 93,000, 94,000 people. There was easily 100,000 people in that place that day. I've never seen anything like it. It was unbelievable. Last year was still a really good crowd, but nowhere near that. There was probably 50,000 people there last year would be my guess, maybe 60. So still a really good crowd, but I think this year it's going to be more like what we saw a couple of years ago. I think it's going to be packed in there this year. All right, we're going to kick off and let these duds get the ball first. Man, they ain't no good. Boot that ball, Hot Rod. Boom! Yeah, you better take a knee, son. That's what I thought. That's what I thought, son. That's what I thought, son. Sam Darnold. Now, this is an interception machine here. Now, the NFL is in love with this guy, Sam Darnold. I mean, he's going to go. He's going to go early. He'll most likely be a top 10 pick, maybe even a top 5 pick, probably the second quarterback taken. But this guy is an interception machine. Now, he's got all the tools. He's got all the ability. He can make all the throws, all that kind of stuff. But, man, it's just... Snap the ball. Light him up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But it's like sometimes he just has these brain farts or something. I don't know. I mean, it just makes these interceptions. You just scratch your head. I mean, how can somebody with this much talent have that many interceptions? I mean, it's unreal. So I'm not sure if it's going to be like a Brett Favre type thing where he's really, really good, just like a gunslinger type. I mean, I don't know. But you've got to be a little bit worried if you're an NFL team thinking about taking him top 5, top 10, something like that as your future quarterback. You got to be a little bit concerned with all those interceptions.
He's going to go for the home run.
Oh no! Wide open.
Pull it in. He gets hit out of bounds at the 29-yard line.
Baker got
Well, you give up too many
burned.
passes like that, and the game will
It's our
be
best
done
corner
before you
cover
know
too.
it. It cannot let these receivers get behind them.
Get him.
After a decent run up the gut.
All right, now we're gonna need a turnover or something here.
That'll bring up 2nd and 3.
Fires quickly, and he's got his man. He's taken down.
Wide open
around
again.
the 12-yard line.
Nice job here by the quarterback of putting some air underneath
Enough of
this
that
pass
zone.
and letting his receiver catch up with it for a nice gain.
Lock him down.
Just
There you
throws
go.
this
We got
one
to throw that
away.
one
Good
away.
job here by the defense. If you let this quarterback
Sack
set
would be
and
nice,
throw,
too.
he'll kill you all game. But they got excellent pressure on that play.
Come on, defense.
From the 12-yard line, it's 2nd down. On the throw, incomplete.
Oh, he
pass.
dropped it. I thought he caught the damn thing. Hit him in the hands, didn't it?
Intended receiver on the play.
All right, 3rd and 10. Let's go, dogs. Somebody's gonna have to make a play
This
here.
is the 8th play of this drive.
Let's get it.
Fires
There it is,
down.
Dominic Sanders. All right, that'll work. That'll work. Woo! Yes, sir.
He seemed
Dominic
a little
Sanders.
hesitant on that throw, and that left the defender
He finished
trying to
his
break
career
on the ball and
tied
pick it off.
for most interceptions in UGA history this year. And some fans still hate on this guy. I don't get it. Oh, he's not fast enough, Lou. Hey, he was doing something right whenever he tied to career interceptions, so. I always liked him.
1st and 10. Ball on the 24-yard line.
All right, Chubb, let's punish these bums, son. Get off me!
That's a great tackle at the 27.
I was lucky to gain anything on that one. That joker had me behind the line, tried to hawk me down, son.
That'll make it 2nd and 7.
All right, Fromm. You're going to have a better game than last time, buddy.
Pass. Trying to get it to
Jeez.
the receiver.
Number 6 was the intended receiver on the play. That makes it 3rd and 7.
3rd and 7.
3rd
coming
and
up
7.
here. Ball on the 27-yard
Need
line.
some first downs, man. We got to capitalize on that interception.
He's on the run.
Nice.
And he's taken
Nice.
down at the 41.
That'll work.
Definitely put them in better field position. And I just
First down, Georgia! Woo!
Now it's 1st and 10 with the defense trying to regroup after giving up the big pass.
All right, come on, Chubb. Come on, buddy.
Handoff, and he's not gonna
Couldn't get
back
to that
the
hole
line.
quick enough.
Loss of 3 yards on the play. That'll bring
That
up
hole was
2nd
there
and
for a
12.
second, though. See how this works. I don't know. I don't run this very much. We'll see. We'll see how this works out. I don't know. I don't know.
On play action.
That was a screen pass to Chubb, and he got knocked down.
This young
That's a-
man didn't even have a chance
that was supposed
to,
to be
make
a
something
screen
happen.
pass.
It's tough to find your receivers when the defense is in
But
your
Chubb
face
got
like
knocked
that.
down, so I had to eat the sack. I guess I could have thrown it out of bounds, but since I don't know what the hell I'm doing, I didn't. I sit on the Georgia side. about on the 30-yard line, closest to the bridge.
Fakes to the back. Going deep.
Oh, look at that. Godwin almost came in and scooped that up. That would have been a hell of a catch if he would have actually caught it. Which he didn't. So, yeah. We're going to have to go ahead and punt here.
Booming kick.
Oh, come on.
This punt bounces into the end zone.
If the ball lands inside the 15-yard line, it's going in the end zone every single time, ain't it?
Now let's see if they can do it again.
And just listen to this crowd, Brad. I mean, you can practically feel
Section
the energy
326.
coming down from the crowd.
I sit in the
Now it's
100s
impacting
at
these
G-Day.
They've got to play with some focus and smarts here. They don't want to make a mistake and suddenly find themselves trailing.
I do a lot of walking around, though. I don't sit down the whole time. I bring my kids with me, and they like to get autographs and stuff from the ex-players that are there and all that. And I don't know. We walk around and take, I take pictures with them and all that kind of stuff.
Gets it out quickly.
Joker's wide open, man. How about let's cover that dude?
That makes it 2nd and 2.
Again, he'll get the call. Brought down at midfield.
Come on, D.
Nothing more effective that a team can do offensively than to pound the ball right at the defense, trying to wear them down.
Brought down in the open
That's
field.
good coverage there. That was just a good pass. It's hard to defend that. I'm not gonna lie.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
Woo! Lit him up. Nice. Who was that? Ledbetter?
Boy, he's quick as a cat. No
Lit
question.
him
He had
up.
tremendous penetration and was able
Yeah,
to
stay
wrap
down,
him up
son.
for loss there.
All right, 3rd and 3. We need to stop here. Stop them here. They'll have to punt.
They need about
Need
3
a
yards
stop
to get the
here.
first down. Here on 3rd down. They come out in a 5-wide set.
Get him.
Heavy
Yes.
sack. The cornerback came out of nowhere.
I don't even think the quarterback knew
Pressure
he
paid
was
off that
blitzing.
time. Nice. Nice. All right, they got a punt now. Come on, Lou. Let's score some points here, buddy.
The Trojans had one of their key players.
See
go down
what,
earlier, but it looks like he might be
What
able to get
Miko
back in
can
the
do
lineup.
here.
He's out to the 30. Room
Yes.
around the corner.
Yes,
He's
get
to
around
the
that
40.
corner.
And down he goes.
Nice,
The
nice.
49.
That was a good little return there. Nice little return.
And so far,
Nice
been
little
totally
return. We
even.
got us some good
In
field
close
position
games
here
like
now.
this, every possession is likely to matter.
Get rid of the ball, son.
That is
Jesus.
10 yards on the play. That'll make it 2nd and long.
You putting us in a hole here, bro. Chubb late to the block, too. Thanks a lot. Into the first quarter, 0-0. Sitting on a 2nd and 20 here.
We
Oh, my
played one.
God.
No score here. Welcome back.
All right.
Tight game here in the 2nd quarter as we
Let's
begin
block
play.
somebody now.
They'll give it off here. They'll bring him down right around the
3 yards, man.
34-yard line.
Good for a gain of 3 yards. That'll bring up 3rd and long.
Third down, and they need to get it down.
3rd and
to
17.
39.
This is dangerous here. Frome loves to throw interceptions in this game. May have something to do with the person that's actually playing the game. I'm not really sure. Now that was a nice
The
pass.
40-yard line.
And of course,
16 on the play.
an inch short.
7 inches.
Really? All right. It's time to get the Chubb train rolling. Let's see.
It's 4th down, and they're going to try to
If
go
I can't
for
get an inch, it might be time for a rage quit.
Kind of surprising here that
Haven't
they
had
didn't
one of
elect
those
to
in a
punt.
while.
I don't agree with this call. And down he goes.
Barely. I mean, barely.
Very solid offensive line.
I'll take barely, though.
If they do their job, they'll make enough room for short conversions.
Nice play fake. Quick throw. And
Nice.
he's tackled at the 29.
Williams has good hands.
That makes it 2nd and 2.
So it's 2nd down and about 2 yards
All
to
right,
go.
let's keep it rolling.
Nice run, and he's
I'll
brought
take
down.
that. I will take that.
Gain of 6 on the play. That'll move the chains for another Georgia. 1st down.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on the 23-yard line.
All right, dogs.
Gets it out to his receiver
I got
in a hurry.
that was
Tackles
pure
at the
luck
9.
right there.
This receiving core
My plan was
runs
to throw that
great
ball to
routes,
Chubb, and for
that
some
last
reason,
play was an
every
example
time I
of that.
plan to
As a
throw the ball to
defender, it
Chubb,
can
the
be
Joker
tough to
gets
match
knocked
up
down
sometimes.
in the backfield and can't run his damn route. I might have to take this Joker out and put Sony Michel in. I don't want to make the same mistake Mark Richt made in the title game.
And this play is number 8 on the drive. And they
I
get
mean,
the sack.
there's nothing I can
Coaches
do
don't
there.
like it when their quarterback gets hit
There's
like that.
absolutely nothing. I mean, they
Surprised to
blocked
see the old
literally
coach get on
nobody.
his lineman to protect the quarterback a little bit better.
More play action, though. That takes too damn long.
It's
Especially
2nd
when
and
you
goal.
can't block anybody.
16.
Trying to stay calm here.
Ends
That's
up
not
up the middle
working.
and stuffed.
Loss of 1 on the play. That makes it 3rd and goal.
Let's see. What's the only thing I could do to make this even worse right now? Throw an interception? All right.
10th
No
play of the
problem.
drive.
Interception coming right up.
Caught end zone for the touchdown. And a nice catch.
Woo!
Receiver for the touchdown.
Never a doubt, son.
Gotta keep an eye on
Never
this guy.
a
They
doubt.
love going to him down here.
They got great concentration from everyone to connect on the flag.
Look how Fromm thread that needle. I knew he could do. There was never, not a single doubt in my mind. I knew the touchdown was coming. Without a problem. Dogs on top, 6-0. Hot Rod is money. I mean, this Joker's automatic, 7-0. You already know.
Hits the PAT. A 10-play, 49-yard drive, and it results in a touchdown.
Brad, I thought the offense did a really nice job of mixing up the play calling on that drive. I thought the defense was on its heels.
Dennis
most
Wilson
of the
is
drive because
eat
of the versatility of the offense.
With Kirby Smart, ain't he? Look at just all. As soon as the first thing I see when I look back down in the troll section is Dennis Wilson going on and on about Kirby Smart. You are eat up with it, sir. Are you sure you're not a Tennessee fan? You say you're a Miami fan. I believe you. Look, you've got Tennessee fan tendencies, man. Real talk.
Tackle made.
You've got some Baltar
I
tendencies.
just love to watch this defense play.
I just
They've
mess
been
with you. You know I
flying
like
all
it,
over
sir.
the field today, making big play after big play. The crazy
Don't
thing
worry,
is
man. The
we
Canes
still
are going to
such
have a
close
lot of
game
9 and
despite
10
how
win
well they
seasons with
play.
Mark Richt, man. The days of you guys not making a bowl game are over. Mark Richt will deliver that for you, sir. No problem. You guys will make a bowl game every single year. You're going to win 9 or 10 games like it's nothing. I promise you that.
And he throws it away.
I thought I was offsides, to be honest. I got lucky there. Referee wasn't looking. Just like he wasn't looking at Alabama in the national championship game, too.
From their own 21-yard line. Second down. Zips it to the tight end.
Eat him up.
And they make the
Yes,
stop
sir.
at the 20-yard line.
Take that 1 yard loss, boss. All right, let's get a sack here now.
Let's see to one of the
God bless. I jumped off sides like a moron.
Encroachment, defense.
Instead of 3rd and 11, 3rd and 6 now.
The coaches will be giving them an earful for it.
That's all on me, too. I can't even blame that on a computer. I wish I could. I can't. I got to own that
on
one.
the 25-yard line.
Come on, dogs. Somebody make a play here.
Throws it in a hurry. Tackle made at the 47th.
Roquan got burned in man coverage against that linebacker on that one.
That makes it 1st and 10. Fires that quickly, incomplete. He was under some pressure there.
Throw that one
Sometimes
away.
as a quarterback, you have so
2nd
many
and 10.
things to worry about.
106 to go to halftime. We got to keep him out of the end zone here. Now, I do get the ball to start the second half, though.
Here, he just missed the target.
From their own 47-yard line. Second down.
Now, how in the hell
He's hit and
did he
taken down.
catch that?
What impresses me so much?
That should have been
is the guy's
interception, real
vision.
talk.
He read the coverage perfectly to find his man for good yardage.
Now that was just a dumb play call right there. Now I got to go ahead and call a timeout on that
So
one.
they wrapped him up before
I was
he
going to
could
let
get
it just
anything
run
going.
down and
nothing there on
whatnot.
that
But
option.
you make a stupid ass play call like that, then you get the timeout called on you. Uncle Lou gets the ball back, drives 80 yards after
He'll
you
try to
kick
knock
it into
this
the
punt
end
down
zone and
inside
goes
the
up
20.
14-0, headed into halftime, and I get the ball to start the 3rd quarter also in 2.
This one will go into the end zone, and they'll bring it out to the 20.
What y'all carrying on about in the comments section in there? Are the trolls still winning?
There hasn't been too much daylight between these two teams. In games like this, some players try to press too much, and that can cause mistakes. Georgia up 7 points. Scrambling around. He's out to the 30, and he tackles him hard at the 31-yard line.
Nice. Did you get out of bounds, or do I need to call a timeout? Oh, hell, I ain't calling a timeout either way.
From their own 31-yard line.
From 6 of 8,
It's first
99
down.
yards and a touchdown, so not too bad today. Could be worse. And to be honest, there's been several games where it has been worse.
And he is
Now, that
drilled
was
at the 22-yard line.
retarded.
Georgia's
You
gonna have to
deserve
use their
that,
second time out of
Lou.
the half.
You stood there like an
Make it
idiot.
2nd and long.
You 100 deserved that, buddy.
And he
Again.
can't get away from the pressure. USC will take their first
Again,
time
you
out
did
of the
it.
half.
Idiot.
Third and long now after the sack.
So dumb.
Once and all, going deep. He's got his receiver with nobody around him. He's taken down at the 47-yard line. Throws into coverage.
Now, Jesus H. Christ there.
He telegraphed that throw. He eyed his receiver the whole way. That was
One
an easy
step
read
forward,
by the defense.
2 steps back. I'm listening to Pandora in these headphones, and the "Your Season Is Over" song is on. That song that I use, I guess most of y'all have picked up on that, but I use the same song in the same types of videos. Like I use in the Come Get You Some video, it's always the same song. And then all the "Your Season Is Over" videos. Look at that, he just threw it right to me. I mean, I'm literally the only one there.
That's incomplete. So at the end of the half,
and then in all the "Your Season Is Over" videos, I use the same song too. "Eulogy" is the name of that song I use in the "Your Season Is Over." And it just happened to come on right now. Athens was nice, Slim. The weather was beautiful today. They got a lot of work to do on that stadium, though, if they're going to have it ready for G-Day. I guess I heard the scoreboard is supposed to be ready for G-Day, but the locker room area and that end zone area are not going to be ready for G-Day. So I don't know, we'll see. But it was really nice up there today. Met some nice people.
The quarterback leads the offense back out onto the field as we get set to resume play. Georgia is up a score.
Can I go ahead and do the 2018 Tennessee Your Season Is Over video? It wouldn't be a terrible idea, would it? I'll go ahead and tell y'all right now what video's coming tomorrow. Dan Mullen ran his fat mouth today, and he done pissed off the wrong one now. He's done barked up the wrong damn tree, this Dan Mullen. Most of y'all, I guess, heard about what he said today, but basically he was talking about Georgia, and he said basically, big deal, Georgia won SEC championship. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while. All right, I got your blind squirrel.
Throws quickly and it's almost intercepted.
I'm not sure the quarterback.
I don't want to ruin today's video. I mean, I don't want to ruin tomorrow's video by going off on a rant right now about how Mississippi State is way better than Florida and Nick Fitzgerald is better than any quarterback Florida's had since Tim Tebow, and we absolutely wiped the floor with Dan Mullen in Mississippi State. So Florida is, not going to mean anything. I don't want to ruin it by saying all that right now, so I'll just hold off. But it's just hilarious. Dan Mullen wants to run his fat mouth about Georgia for no damn reason when the Gators can't even make a bowl game. But we'll see about that in Jacksonville this year. Oh, all right. Now that's Williams dropped one there. Now he should have had that one. This is the part of the game where the computer starts cheating. Nothing works for me, and they're going to start giving all the breaks here to Southern Cal. I've seen this movie before. Fortunately.
Doesn't look like he's going to have much time to get rid of this punt. And this one is a beauty. Calls for the fair catch.
Yeah, nice fair catch. Yellow-bellied coward. UJ versus Arkansas. Are you an Arkansas fan,
There's still
Sam?
plenty of time to keep running their offense as usual.
I'm not clowning. I'm asking for real because there's not a whole lot of. I don't have a whole lot of Arkansas fans that watch. Oh no!
The 10. Huge gain, and that sets
I blew that. I took control of that defender and moved in the wrong damn direction. That was all me there.
The offense looking here to exercise any red zone demons they might have after throwing an interception on their last trip. Touchdown, USC. Dixie.
I gave up a touchdown there. Okay, I got you, Sam.
It takes a lot of
I wasn't sure. Sorry. Wasn't trying. Like I said, I wasn't trying to insult you or anything. It's hard for me to keep up sometimes with who I was a fan of which team. But when you asked about Arkansas,
Here comes the kicker to try to tie this game up.
Threw me off there for a second. Oh, okay. I remember you now. I think we've talked about that before. We have talked about that
before. They come away with 7 points.
Well, Brad, right now this offense is hot, and they also took advantage.
Thank you, Mr. Franklin, Will, and yes, obviously I'm having a great morning.
Up, and he is set to kick this one off.
Yeah.
He's to the 20. Tackle at the 24-yard line.
What movies are y'all looking forward to seeing soon? They had a lot of previews for new movies during the Super Bowl. I love movies. I always have.
You don't want to squander any possession.
What movies are y'all looking forward to seeing?
The right time to dip into your bag of tricks a little. Think about some gadget plays to catch the defense napping. Brought down at the 33-yard
Second one.
That's good for a gain of 9 yards. That brings up 2nd and 1.
The fighting condoms. Trojan man.
Short yardage situation here.
I think I'm going to put Sony Michel in too. I see somebody said Black Panther. Who was that? Melon Matt. That's the one. That's the next one I'm looking forward to really seeing. That comes out soon too. Maybe this weekend. If not this weekend, then next weekend. But that one's coming out real soon. Lou Jr. and Luann both want to see that one too. So I think the 3 of us will probably go see that one. Probably whatever weekend it comes out, whether that's this weekend or next weekend. I gotta look and see. But that Black Panther looks really, really good. If y'all hadn't seen the previews for that, y'all should look it up. Yeah, Avengers. Yeah, I've seen all the Avengers and all the Marvel movies. So yeah, that's one I'm looking forward to for sure.
Let's see if this coaching staff sticks with.
Did y'all see the previews for that new movie by The Rock or Dwayne Johnson, whatever he's going by now? Skyscraper. That looked pretty good, didn't it? I thought that one looked pretty good. Skyscraper. That probably comes out this summer though. And there's a new Mission Impossible movie coming out. I don't know if you guys are into that or not. The first couple of Mission Impossible movies came out a long time ago, like in the 90s, I think. And then they've had some come out since then, too. So I'm not sure if that's something y'all have ever gotten into. But I've always liked the Mission Impossible movies, even though I'm not a huge Tom Cruise fan in general. I do like those Mission Impossible movies.
He's going to go for the home run.
I had a way to come back to that ball, Godwin. Act like you want to get some more looks, sir. Let's put Sony Michel in. I mean, why not, right? We could even put Swift in if we wanted to. I'll tell you what, let's put Michelle 1. There we go. So we got Michelle 1, Swift 2. So if Michelle gets hurt or tired, Swift will come in. But let's see what Michelle wants to do now. Let's see if he wants to sing for his supper a little bit.
From the 31-yard
First and 10. We need a touchdown here. Tie game, 7-7. Look how Sony just ran over 2 people, though. Grown ass man. This is grown man football. Real talk. All right, we're going to see if we can't throw a little swing pass to DeAndre Swift here. That's him on the left right there, number 7. So, see if we can't hit him with one right here.
Caught and he's hit immediately.
3rd and 1.
That'll make it 3rd and 1.
Sony Michel time.
It's
All
third
right,
down.
power
This
football
offense
right
is
here.
about 3 feet away from that first down marker.
Hat on a hat. Let's get this first down. That'll work. That'll do. Woo! First down, doggies. Minute to go in the third. Tie game, 7-7. But we about to change that here real quick. All right, dogs.
From the 18-yard line, it's first down.
Uncle Lou should be QB, Gabe. You know, last summer when I played this game, I created an Uncle Lou character at quarterback. And I made it realistic. Like, I made him like 5'9", 5'10", 155 pounds, terrible arm strength, running speed of 0 because, of course, my legs don't work. I mean, I made it legit. And whenever I was playing, and I did this all summer on stream, whenever I was playing, anytime I had more than a 1-score lead or something in the fourth quarter, I'd put Lou in. And Lou did okay. I mean, I was proud of Lou.
And this is the 9th play of the current drive.
He did pretty good considering his overall rating was like a 12.
He's tackled around the 3-yard line.
That was a nice throw and catch. Hey, what's some of the dumbest stuff announcers say that really gets on your nerves? Like some of the worst cliches, like the things that they just say over and over again. What's some of the funniest or just like the worst? Like you know, it's a game of inches. You know, stuff they just say all the time. What's some of the dumbest ones or some of the worst ones or the funniest ones or whatever? It's a game of inches. You got to get a hat on a hat. What's some other ones?
Set to start action here again in the fourth quarter.
I'm doing Bluetooth, bitch. Ooh, Sony got laid out right on the goal line. Look at that. God dang. He's got to have whiplash on that one. Anything Collinsworth says? Yeah, he's pretty bad, isn't he? He really is.
Here's the 11th play of the drive.
Mike 35, Mike 35.
Touchdown, Georgia.
All right, dogs back on top.
When you're that close to the end zone, it's always a smart play to find your blockers and follow them into the end zone.
What am I doing? I was about to run a play instead of kicking an extra point. Why didn't one of y'all tell me? O-line makes the difference.
Georgia up 6. He splits the upright.
Games are won and lost in the trenches. They will have to run the ball to win. Yeah. Whichever team tackles and blocks the best is probably going to win the game.
And it looks like they're ready for the kickoff.
Marshall deep to return.
Yeah, we'll do a dynasty or at least a season. That's what we did last. That's what we did last summer. We did an entire. I set the schedule up for the 2017 schedule, and we just did a season. That's probably what I should do. Maybe I'll rotate like on Tuesdays I'll play me as Georgia, and I'll do a season, and we'll do a game every Tuesday, and then on Thursdays I'll play you guys, or we'll simulate games, or I'll just play whatever teams you guys want to see. Maybe that's what we'll do. That way we can actually do a season with Georgia.
And they make the stop.
But we can play some of the other
26
stuff we want to see too, and I can get a chance to play some of you guys. I'm not really looking forward to playing you guys, but it just really seems like something you guys want to do. Which I know why you want to humiliate me, which most likely you will.
And that one's going to hit the ground incomplete.
So maybe that's what we'll do. Did somebody really just say go Gardner Webb? Jesus, y'all are reaching way down to the bottom of the college football barrel. I thought the UTEP thing was funny. Oh, and of course, in the last couple of days, there's been a million people comment the word UTEP. Some people have gone back to like videos that are like a year and a half and 2 years old, and I know they're not watching the video. They're just finding a really old video, and then they're going to the comment section and just typing UTEP. So every time I pull up my YouTube thing and my list of notifications, I'm like, who the hell was watching this video from 2.5 years ago? And I'll click on it, and the new comment will just say one word, UTEP.
Fourth and long here.
Y'all never let me down, though. Tell Mrs. Lou thank you for what? What did I miss?
He's at midfield. Brought down at the 44.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be. I'll tell her, but then she's gonna say thanks for what? I don't know what to tell her. What am I thanking Mrs. Lou for? Y'all let me know.
You know this is a real crucial time in the game.
ETSU, the second best team in well, no, not the second best.
7 points.
Probably the third best team in Tennessee. Memphis, Middle Tennessee, then East Tennessee, and then I guess Tennessee, right?
Complete, brought down, nothing doing.
You got to turn that ball up, son.
That'll make it 2nd and 7.
We get a score here, it's over, ain't it?
2nd down, 7 yards to go.
I mean, look, well, let's just be real. This is Southern Cal. This game was over before it started, but you know what I mean.
Fires quickly, it's picked off. And he's level at the 23-yard line.
That's not what we needed.
What is he thinking? The quarterback
Super Bowl was a great game.
Time in the game, unless his man is wide open, he should just throw it away. It's these kinds of mistakes that can cost you a game.
I better stay out of that comments. I don't know what y'all are talking about Mrs. Lou, and I'm afraid if I see it, I'll get mad. So I'm just gonna pretend I didn't see it.
Completes it, but he can't shake the defense.
Well, that man caught that ball in front of 19 11 UGA defenders. That's what I want to know.
He's hit and taken down.
What is that guy's name? Daniel Imat Orbhabry? What in the what?
Throws it to the halfback on the screen. He's pushed down.
Sit down, son.
At about the 47
All right, we need to stop here. We're not going to let them just drive down the field like this. Now, this is getting ridiculous. Light him up. 3 yards, I can live with that.
A little more than 2 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Scrambling around.
What?
He's at the 40. Knocked out of bounds at the 34.
This man's got cement blocks for feet and ran for a first down. I don't know where he threw that to. He's throwing that one to Harry Dog.
The pressure was still enough to force a bad pass. If you
2nd
can
and
get
10.
in there and disrupt the pocket, then the quarterback is going to have a tougher time getting the ball to his playmakers.
Do an Uncle Lou review of Toy Story? That's actually not a bad idea. Somebody said they're coming out with another one of those. Is that true? Those are good movies.
quick to the receiver.
That'll work. You got lit up. Didn't catch it.
Like offsides. Here's the
Of course I was offsides.
And he helped the offense with that penalty.
And you have to be careful here because the offense will get a free play, which could become even more costly than the 5-yard penalty.
Lou review of Toy Story. Now, have y'all seen the Lou review, the movie reviews, the Uncle Lou movie reviews that I've done? I've done Forrest Gump, and I've done Rudy. And if you go back real far on my channel, you can find an Uncle Lou review of 50 Shades of Grey. But you got to go pretty far back to find that one. I think that was before I was even doing football videos.
Just throws this one away. The defense got some pressure and forced a bad pass.
I think they've been a little bit more aggressive here with their pass rush, and that time it paid off with an incompletion.
Here's play number 10 on the drive.
Anybody on my defense want to, like, make a big play or something? Or not tackle that guy?
This guy just made those 10 yards look easy.
That'll bring up 3rd and inches.
And he throws
Who
it
in the
away.
world are you throwing that
When
to
you feel
now?
pressure like that, the worst thing you want to do
threw that one over the
is
bridge.
just to throw the ball into coverage. He got away with one right there. He's very fortunate. Next time, he should just throw it away out of bounds.
So it's 4th down.
All right,
Offense is
doggies.
still on the field.
All
Short yardage
comes down to
situation.
this.
The offense is in the jumbo package. And he's
Ah!
the 7-yard line.
If he would have fell the other way, we'd be golden. But if ifs and buts were candy and nuts. Jesus.
Fires quickly. Touchdown. Late in the 4th quarter now, and with that score, this game's a 1-possession ball game. They're going to get tense from here on out.
The safety can't cover that fat.
The extra point to
Tight
tie
end.
this game up. And he tacks on the extra point.
All right, we got a minute 25
So
for
12
Fromm
plays,
to throw.
78-yard drive, and they get it in for 7.
Another
14
interception.
apiece. Brown looks ready to kick this one off. He kicks it off, and he got all of that one. Looking for the corner, and down he goes.
Well, if I'd have got
at the
around that
26.
corner, we wouldn't have to worry about throwing no interceptions, would it? Rudy's a criminal. I don't know if you guys know about all that, but he's a felon, I believe.
Late in the 4th quarter in a 1-possession
And he was
game,
offsides
and
like no
poise
other.
is what it's all about here. Who's going to have it and who won't?
Everybody knows that.
Just
though.
over a minute in the 4th quarter. Off play action. Now he's on the move. He's taken down at the 35.
There you go, Fromm. Game's on the line, son. Do what you got to do, son. First down. Line it back up. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Complete. He's got room.
Got to cover Miko, didn't you? All right, we're moving now. We are moving.
Now he's scrambling. On the move, throws complete to the tailback.
I'll take that
And they
5
push him
yards
out
and
at
get
the
out of bounds.
34-yard line.
Sure will. Look at Fromm. He is slap wore out, ain't he?
It's second
See if we can
down,
catch him
5 to
sleeping.
go.
You think we can?
Ball on the 34-yard line.
Yeah, I think Fromm's going to have a really good year. I think he'll go well over 3,000 yards. No, that play didn't work at all. Let's call a timeout and regroup. Would that help Fromm get his energy back? Yeah, I should have been done that then.
That'll bring up 3rd and 8.
Yeah, I think Fromm's going to have a really good year this year. Probably 26, 27, 28 touchdowns, somewhere in there, between 3,000 and 3,500 yards.
Fires quickly. He's got the tailback on another catch. They'll bring him down around the 31-yard line. USC
4th and
will
3,
take
and it'd be a
timeout.
50-something yarder.
There's
And
a player
Sony
down.
Michel's
I'm
hurt.
not sure what happened.
31, 40. Should I try to kick a field goal? Oh, I don't know what to do. 48-yard field goal to win the game.
This kick is for the lead. A miss, and it will most likely mean overtime. He gets it.
He yanked it.
No,
Hot Rod, my man, you let me down, dude.
We're just a little bit closer to overtime.
This kid needs to keep his head
Not
in
only
the
that,
game because
I
they
didn't
might
let the
need him
time
again
run
in
off the
overtime.
damn clock either. Oh, I got you on the Mrs. Lou comment. Okay, it makes sense now.
Late in the
Yeah, I'll
fourth
tell
quarter
her.
now, game is tied. Which coach can
I can't believe I
outcoach
just
the
did
other? It's
that.
a
I should have
chess
just
match
went
right
for
now.
it.
And he's immediately tackled.
Makes the reception.
Watch how they're gonna kick a field goal to win this game now.
That makes it 1st and 10.
36, 36.
Gets it out quick.
Oh!
Going the other way.
Run like you stole it.
At the 50-yard line.
Yes, yes. Woo! I still got 2 timeouts too. I need some yards though.
Landscape of this game.
I need
Now
some
is the
yards.
time to take advantage.
Boy, that defense
This
came up with
offense
something,
still
didn't it?
has a job to do. They need to put points
You know who
on the
that
board
was?
to break
That was
this
Malcolm
tie.
Parrish.
Wow. Do we have a great game or what?
Trying to redeem himself from that national title game. You're a little too late there, buddy. I appreciate the effort though. Real talk.
From midfield.
God,
First
here we
down.
go.
35's the mic. Down.
He lets it fly.
You got to step on him. Oh, he caught it. He bobbled and caught the damn thing. Oh my God, 1st and goal. Wow.
1st and goal, 4th quarter, all tied up. What's it going to be? They're crowding the line. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
And DeAndre Swift scores the game-winning touchdown. Woo! Hey, luck is part of the game, sir. Luck is part of the game, sir. Good morning.
Can their defense dig in and win it for them? And he hits the PAT.
Ten seconds, this game's over.
They're lined up to
I'm going to kick
and
it
they
high.
just
I'm going to
kick
make
it
them run
short
some
for
time
a
off
long
the clock.
return.
I'm not going to kick the touchback.
That kickoff way up in the air. Marshall takes it to 12. He makes it out to
Get
maybe
him.
the
Yep.
29-yard
All right,
line.
man.
Return 17 yards.
They got maybe one play. Maybe 2. Probably 1.
Both teams realize that when the ball is snapped, we're one play away from a very different ball game. Slings it. USC's
That
going
was
to
a
have to use
stupid
their
play.
second time out of the half. So it's 2nd down and about 2 yards to go. For all of you watching, it's been a great game, and it has a chance to be even greater. Will the prayer be answered? It's time for the Hail Mary. He airs it out. The defender had his hands on it, but it's
Ball
incomplete.
game. Dogs on top. Pac-12's just garbage, ain't it? I'm not even going to brag about winning this game. What's the point? Congratulations, Uncle Lou here. You just finished an ESPN Instant Classic. Game rank number 1. Whee! Oh yeah, I did see that. I did see that friend request. Let me pull that up. What is this? Friends. Are any of these other people? Y'all, I see Slim. Who else? Is anybody else? I don't. Some of these people. I don't know who these people are. All right, Slim, you're in. Who else sent one? I got a lot of them here. I don't know who they are. If they're y'all, I can accept them. I accepted yours, Slim. So y'all tell me if anybody else sent me one. Let me know, and I'll accept it. Friend request on the Xbox. I don't see Matt from Gainesville on here anywhere. Or I would accept it. Melon Matt. Oh, you got to send me the request, Matt. I can't send, because I'm not going to send 40 of y'all or whatever friend requests. Y'all, you know, I'd have to send 40. Each of you only have to send one request to me, and then I can accept it. I'll accept the request. Mr. Potion. I have to know what the name is, Mr. Potion. Give me a hint. If you don't want to say the whole name, you got to at least give me a hint. Divergent, Oregon. Okay, I see it. All right, so Slim and Mr. Potion, I got y'all. Who else? The real John Bryant is who? Playden? I see you. Okay. All right, I accepted yours. Oh, I'm still doing that setup video, Philip. I will still do that. I promise. Maybe I might have some time this weekend to do that. All right, Paul, take it easy, buddy. Kylo Dog, you just sent one. I need to know what the name is so I can accept it. What's up, Philip? You know what? I'm just gonna accept them all. What do I care? You know, I'm just if I have a friend request on here right now, I'm accepting it. It's just it's that simple. All right, I'm going through and accepting all these now. So y'all hold on. Slim's playing that basketball game. I see you, Slim. Tommy's busy watching Netflix. All right, that's all the requests. I'm not reading those messages on video because there ain't no telling what some of them say. Big C, Dan Mullen was trying to talk trash about Georgia in an interview. Well, I'm not gonna make a second channel for the reactions, Watson. But if there's ever a viral video or any type of video going around and you want me to make a reaction to it, if you let me know, then I probably would make it, and I would just upload it to this channel. Tyler Smith says, "Can I do a Fire Mark Fox video?" Yeah, I've done them before. I don't have as much influence and persuasion over the UJ basketball program as I do over the football program. Of course, I was able to get Mark Richt fired. So far, I've been unsuccessful. I've been trying for 2 years now to get Mark Fox fired, but I just don't have the swag with the football program at UJ that I do. I mean, with the basketball program at UJ that I do with the football program. But I'll see what I can do. I'm going to say Dan Mullen over 5 years at Florida. Not because I think he's going to dominate, but he's a Florida guy. I think they'll be more patient with him than they have been with previous coaches. Yeah, Dan Mullen video coming tomorrow. I promise. I'll probably do it in the morning, too. I was going to do it today, but I was on the road all day today. And didn't get home till probably, I don't know, 7:30. And then I was doing this video tonight, so I didn't do the Dan Mullen video today, but I was pretty heated. I let my feelings be known about it on Facebook and Twitter. But I will do the Dan Mullen video tomorrow, I promise. Yeah, sorry if somebody, my gamer tag is Uncle Lou here, one word. Uncle Lou here. Kyle Shermer versus Jake Fromm. I like Kyle Shermer. I think he's a good quarterback. I mean, he's definitely, especially, he's in the upper half of the SEC, especially last year. Last couple of years, probably quarterback position been kind of down in the SEC. I think Fromm probably has a higher ceiling than Shermer. Shermer's got the experience right now, of course. And then obviously Fromm has better pieces around him than Shermer does. But Shermer's better than any quarterback Florida has had since Tim Tebow. I can tell you that. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, Dylan. Tyler, I have mixed feelings about that Jacob Copeland commitment video. I thought that mom ought to have been ashamed of herself when I saw that video. I mean, that's pathetic and sad. She acted like a 3-year-old. But then I read some stuff later on Twitter from Jacob Copeland saying that it was all a joke, that you have to know his mom to sort of understand it, like that her mom is just a joke, you know, a prankster or whatever like that, and that she wasn't really mad. Now, I don't know if he's just covering for his mom, because she was getting absolutely hammered all over social media. his mom was for doing that. So I don't know if he was just being, you know, the good son or whatever and trying to cover for his mom, or if it really was a joke that just didn't work out well. Oh, I didn't get picked for the Coke commercial. I didn't make the I didn't make it. Edward says, will Texas be back next year? I want to say yeah so bad because I was real high on Texas this year. In the preseason, I thought Texas was going to win 10 games this year. I didn't think they would win the Big 12, but I thought they could come close and win 9 or 2 games, and they kind of disappointed me this year. I haven't really thought a whole lot about next year yet, and I haven't done any studying or research or anything on you know, which players are coming back for which teams and all these kinds of things, and looked at schedules and all that yet. I usually do that in June, and then in July and August I'll make all my prediction videos. But I'm still a believer in Tom Herman, a big believer. So off the top of my head right now, I would be willing to bet that Texas wins more games in year 2 under Tom Herman than they did this year. But I'll make a more detailed video on that in July or August, though. Jacob Copeland is a wide receiver recruit out of the state of Florida that made his commitment yesterday. It was down to, I think, Florida, Alabama, and Tennessee. And he chose Florida, and his mom was sitting next to him at the commitment ceremony there at the table. And when he chose Florida, his mom got all pissed off, stood up, stormed off. And I guess they're saying now it was kind of a setup thing, but I'm not real sure. Smallball says he sent me an email. When did you send it? I checked and responded to a bunch of emails today. I try to respond to them all. If you ever send me an email and I don't respond to it, it's not that I'm ignoring you or anything like that. I really do try to read them all and respond to them all. So I'm not real sure. Plus, a lot of times when you guys send me emails, your email name is different from your YouTube name. So a lot of times I'm not real sure who the email is coming from as far as relating it to one of you guys in the comment section. And I don't like to read out people's email addresses or anything on video to ask you. Unless you want to say in the comment section what it was, and then I can try to read it now. Jared, no, I don't think Vanderbilt can win the East next year. The top 2 teams I would think right now would be Georgia and South Carolina. Will Greer doesn't play for Florida anymore, plays for West Virginia. And he was a good quarterback, but y'all got rid of him, so, I mean, that's on y'all. Yeah, Matt, you already know the Trolls are undefeated, buddy. No, I do not think college football players should get paid. The mom wanted Alabama. I mean, she had an Alabama sweatshirt on during the commitment ceremony. But then there was like a guy standing behind him with an Alabama shirt and a Tennessee hat, and then another guy with an Alabama shirt, and then somebody else with a Florida. I mean, the whole thing was just weird with that Jacob Copeland. Garrett Dotson. Okay. Let me check. Oh, yes, I did get that. I did get that. And yes, what you're saying here, my answer is yes. I'm going to send you a quick email right now, sir. Just so you know, I did actually read your email. I'm just going to send you a quick one right now. We need to get together on this maybe over the weekend, okay? But yeah, I just emailed you back. And we'll get together over the weekend. I may even email you my phone number, and we'll talk about that. Gardner Webb better than Kentucky. I can't agree with that. Kentucky, not a terrible team the last couple of years. Now, 4 or 5 years ago, yeah, they were winning 2-3 games a year. Yeah, right now, no, not a terrible team. So Kentucky better than Gardner Webb, not the other way around. Big C. UJ3 Trolls 35. No. The Trolls don't play football, sir. Trolls troll. Huh. Yeah, Jason, I'm in the process of lining that up right now. Let me tell you, let me just sort of talk about the decisions I'm making and where I'm trying to go and what I'm trying to do and what I'm trying not to do. I am by no means an expert at YouTube or video production or editing or computers or any of that stuff. I went to college, but it didn't have anything to do with any of that. So I'm self-taught on all this stuff. And what happens with these live streams is the more different things I try to do at one time with these live streams, the more likely it becomes that none of it works, or that I screw it up, or that I spend an hour and a half setting something up and then something simple like the microphone's not working and you can't hear me or something like that. So what I'm trying to do is add things one at a time to these live streams that I'm doing, especially the ones during the day, and make sure that it all works. And then the following week adding something else. Some of you have YouTube channels, so you know what I'm talking about, but nothing that you see on YouTube is ever as easy to do as it looks. So, I mean, even something that might seem simple like streaming this video game with my, with the camera on showing me and a microphone hooked up, and that might sound easy. And I don't know, for some people it probably is, but for me, none of that was easy. It took me a while to figure all that out. And the same thing with the live streams during the day. I have a video, one camera's on me, shows me. I have some text on the side, like what I'm talking about that day. I have text that scrolls across the bottom. I've had 2 videos playing on a live stream at the same time where I actually had 2 different cameras set up. But anyway, the point is, every time I add something new, there's a chance that none of it's going to work. So as far as the co-hosting thing goes, I have to figure out exactly how I want to do that. If I want to have the co-host actually appear on screen, or if I want it to just be their voice. You know, if I want them to appear on screen, how do I do that? Do I do Skype? Do I do, you know, some sort of video call? Do I use Google's Hangouts? There's several other options too. Or do I just want to have their voice? The other thing I'm doing with the phone calls, I'm getting tired of holding my phone up to the microphone. That's really why I stopped doing the whole show used to be call-ins, and I just got sick of holding my phone up to the microphone for an hour. So I started, now I'm only doing call-ins the last 20 minutes of the show or whatever it is. But anyway, I ordered a soundboard that'll hook up to the computer, and I can hook my phone up to it. I can hook all kinds of stuff up to it. But what I'll do with it initially is just hook it into the computer and then run my phone into it, so that any calls that come in will be routed through the computer, through the OBS, which is a program I use to do the live streams, so I don't have to hold the phone up to the microphone anymore. I'll talk into the microphone. That's how you guys will hear me. Whoever I'm talking to, when they talk, it'll play through my computer, through that program, OBS, and then broadcast out to YouTube, and the person I'm talking to will hear me through my cell phone. So anyway, that was a long, drawn-out story to basically say, for the co-hosting thing, I'm still doing that. The guy I had call and talk about the Super Bowl, you know, I called him ahead of time. I've known him for a while. He knows his stuff when it comes to the NFL way more than I do. So I had called him and asked him to be on the show that day first at 3 o'clock. And you know, he just called in at 3. We put him on for 10 or 15 minutes or whatever it was. The co-host thing is, ideally, whoever's doing that, and I'm not expecting, you know, somebody to do it every time. That's why, you know, multiple people to rotate them in and out. I don't expect everybody to set aside an hour every Monday and Wednesday to co-host the Uncle Lou show. But people that want to co-host, you know, I want them to, you know, I want to have them on. But the co-host would be on for the entire hour. And then the show would be the same. We would have topics we would talk about, and then we would take some phone calls, and, you know, so it would be me, the co-host, and whoever was calling in, that kind of thing. And it just takes time for me to put that stuff together because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So I'm having to figure this stuff out as I go. I wish I knew. Is there a story behind the whole Uncle Lou's name is Jeff thing? I wish I knew what that story was, because multiple people, well, at least 2 people that I know of now make that comment all the time. Uncle Lou's name is Jeff. I see different people commenting that. There must be a story behind that, and I just don't know what it is. Jared, that's a good question, man. I'm not trying to knock Vanderbilt, but you guys suck this year. You were 8-15, and you know, you beat us like we owed you money. I mean, it's just unacceptable at this. I don't get it. It's unacceptable. Melon Matt sent me an email. All right. I'm just going to answer that here rather than emailing you back, but I don't have any plans right now to start a podcast. What a lot of people do is they just listen to the Uncle Lou show as if it were a podcast. There's no real reason you have to be watching the Uncle Lou show on a screen, so a lot of people will watch it at work or at night or whatever. They'll just hook up a headphones and they'll just listen to it. So in that sense, it's sort of like a podcast, but I won't be doing anything additionally that would be a podcast. Anything I do right now is going to be on YouTube. The email is crazyunclelou@gmail.com, Sam. crazyuncle.lou@gmail.com. Now, Uncle Lou was a history major. Mark Dudley. Definitely not an engineering major. I picked my major based on which major had the least amount of math and science classes. I never liked particularly science. Math wasn't that bad, I guess, but I never really liked science. Watson says, how do you feel about UJ's chances of making the playoffs this year? And if you lose to Alabama in the SEC Championship, do you think Georgia can get in as number 4 like Alabama did? I think it would be hard to lose the SEC title game and get in. That's not what Alabama did. Alabama lost in the regular season, therefore never making it to the SEC title game and got in. I think it's easier to get in that way than it is to get in by losing your conference championship game. With that being said, I don't want to plan on that. I guess it's possible if Georgia was 12-0 and lost a close SEC title game, but that depends on other teams having 2 losses. If Ohio State had not had 2 losses this year, Alabama wouldn't have got in, right? So to get 2 teams from a conference in, you've got to have conference champions from other places with multiple losses, and I don't want to have to count on that. I mean, I'm not scared to play Alabama. Whether if we play them in the SEC title game and lose to them, then in my mind, we don't deserve to be in the playoff because Alabama's going to be there, and if we can't beat them, what's the point of being in the playoffs? So it doesn't matter to me whether we play Alabama in the SEC championship game or the playoffs. It doesn't matter. But Georgia's not scared to play Alabama. I mean, we'll go toe-to-toe with it. If we play Alabama again, it'll be another good game. Yeah, I remember Alabama, man. He created a bunch of accounts. They all ended up getting banned. He went full potato. Yeah, well, Alabama was better than Ohio State, without question. Ohio State didn't deserve to get in, given what happened everywhere else in the other conferences. Ohio State was not one of the best 4 teams, in my opinion. Ohio State lost to Oklahoma at home. Georgia beat Oklahoma. So that right there puts Ohio State 3rd, best case scenario. Well, Clemson was getting in. They had 1 loss and won the ACC. Ohio State just wasn't getting in. Don't give up 55 points to Iowa. I mean, it's that simple. Yeah, Slim, now that I have that vlog series that I'm doing, I'm going to try to do that once or twice a week. And so during the summer, once I fire the grill up, I'll include that in some of those vlog videos. Mr. Potion, I never buy into anybody based off of 1 good year, or in Garoppolo's case, half a good year. He's a serious upgrade over what San Francisco had before, without question. So, yeah, he deserves to start out there. But as far as is he worth the money or is he going to be a superstar, I don't know. And the same thing can be said for Nick Foles, too, right? He played great in the Super Bowl, had the game of his life in the Super Bowl. I'm not convinced Nick Foles is an elite quarterback based off of that 1 game. But, I mean, I could be wrong in both cases. Oh, that's a good question, Frederick West. I'm not 100% sure. 7 this year. Would we have 4 last year? That's 11. I mean, Georgia signed 7 5-stars this year. The rest of the SEC signed 3 combined. I mean, just think about that. Georgia, 7 5-stars. The rest of the SEC combined, 3. I mean, Georgia didn't just get the number 1 seed. I mean, the number 1 class. They completely dominated this year's recruiting. Otis Reese, that linebacker that we flipped from Michigan, he's our 12th highest rated player, okay? We have 11 other players we recruited and signed this year rated higher than Otis Reese, who we flipped from Michigan. Had he gone to Michigan, he would have been Michigan's highest rated player. So that tells you the discrepancy right there between Georgia's recruits this year and a team like Michigan. Did you really play against JT Barrett in high school? That's pretty cool if you did. Any Team Germany videos for the World Cup? I'll make some World Cup videos. I like international soccer. I get clowned on big time anytime I say that or talk about that, but I like international soccer. Now, I don't watch club soccer. I couldn't name 3 MLS teams. I don't care about it. But I do like international soccer. I mean, country versus country. I do like that. I like the World Cup. I like Olympic soccer. I like all these regional cups that they do. Where USA will play Mexico, Germany, and plays Italy and Spain. I mean, I like international soccer. Yeah, all lowercase. CrazyUncleLou@gmail.com. Fields went to Bama. Yeah, I remember. I do think Deshaun Watson is an elite quarterback. Deshaun Watson is rare. Deshaun Watson is a true dual threat quarterback, and those are very, very rare. Most dual threat quarterbacks in reality are single threat quarterbacks. They can't pass the ball. Lamar Jackson is not a dual threat quarterback. Tim Tebow was not a dual threat quarterback. Who else? Nick Marshall from Auburn, not a dual threat quarterback. None of those guys could throw the ball. Deshaun Watson is an elite passer and can run the ball. Those are very, very rare. Cam Newton, Michael Vick. I was a believer in Robert Griffin III. Now, we'll never know. His career was ruined by injury, so we'll never really know if he was an elite passer. But I think he had the potential to be a true dual threat quarterback. End your YouTube stream. Why? I disagree. I don't think Tebow could throw. I don't really think Aaron Rodgers is a dual threat quarterback. Just because a quarterback is mobile or can scramble, I don't think necessarily classifies him as dual threat. I mean, Steve Young, going back to the 80s, wasn't a dual threat quarterback, but he could scramble around. I don't know. I don't think I would put Aaron Rodgers in the dual threat category. And no, he's not better than Tom Brady. Nobody's better than Tom Brady, ever. Yeah, Michael Vick had an arm, rare. I mean, he was the real deal. That Virginia Tech versus Florida State national championship game from 16 or 17 years ago, whenever that was, early 2000s, I guess, Florida State versus Virginia Tech for the national championship. Florida State was an elite team that year. Virginia Tech was a terrible team, but they had Michael Vick, and Michael Vick almost single-handedly won the national title. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a team that bad play for a national title and keep it close. I mean, Michael Vick was unbelievable to watch. And no, I'm not a fan of the all that he did with the dogs and all. I'm a dog person. I love dogs. I grew up with dogs. I still have dogs. I have 3 of them now. So what he did was reprehensible, but that doesn't mean I can't look back at what he did and pretend he wasn't a good football player. He was. Yeah, I'm going to at least 2 games. I'm going to the spring game and then at least 2 games next year. Mercer is better. than Kansas, Jared. Taylor, I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, he definitely deserves it. He was unbelievable to watch, Michael Vick. Which quarterback from this class succeeds the most? Honestly, don't like any of them. That's from Edward. I'm a believer in Trevor Lawrence, but he's got to put some weight on. I mean, I love Fields. I'm glad we got Fields. We've got a pocket passer. Wouldn't have made much sense, I don't think, to sign Lawrence. So I love that we got Justin Fields, and that's going to work out great because I think we'll get to play both of them. But I think Trevor Lawrence has a chance to be really, really good too. No, I don't think they'll use the flea flicker. I mean, the flea flicker is not a play you really can use more. I mean, that's a 1 or 2 time a year play. You can't really run it any more than that. It loses the element of surprise. Why didn't I give the fat lady on the scooter those Snickers bars? Because she was a fat lady on a scooter with a buggy full of chocolate chip cookie dough. That 05 championship game was amazing. Southern Cal and Texas, amazing game. Until this year's national title game, that was probably the most exciting national title game in a long time. Last year's game was pretty good too with Clemson and Bama, but I would put this year's game and that Southern Cal-Texas game ahead of that Alabama-Clemson game. All right, Sam, you sent an email? No. No, Sam. Zero chance, sir. None. It's not happening. Who you got winning the next few years, Willie Taggart or Dan Mullen? I don't know what Willie Taggart can do. I don't know. So we'll have to see. I think Florida State right now has a more talented team than Florida. So we'll see. If you were going to make me pick one of those two right now, I'd probably pick Mullen. Both of them are behind the 8 ball, though. I mean, Florida State is behind Clemson, and it's not really that close. And Florida's behind Georgia, and it's not really that close. The XFL, I'm in wait-and-see mode. I've been down this road before with the XFL. I'm always in favor of more football. So if they can give me some football to watch in March, April, and May when there's no other football to watch, I'll give it a shot. But if they turn it into some sort of a joke or a gimmick like they did last time, the same thing is going to happen that happened last time. People will lose interest very, very quick. So we'll see. Watson, yeah, I don't see any way Clemson can't be the favorite to win. I mean, I don't see how anybody could pick anyone other than Clemson as the favorite to win the ACC right now. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean they'll win it. There are surprises and shocks every year, but Clemson is going to be the pick to win the ACC. It's going to be everyone's pick to win the ACC this year, for sure. All right, Potion. See you next time, dude. Taggart had a top 5 class at Oregon. Yeah, and they weren't very good, though. I probably will not travel, Taylor, to watch arena football in Buford. We had an arena team here in Augusta for years, and I went from time to time, and so I sort of got my fill of arena league. I don't really think that's probably not something I'll travel to go watch. Yeah, Georgia will be the favorite to win the East for sure. They'll be the media pick. They'll be the coaches' pick at media days in the summer. Georgia will be picked to win the East again, for sure. Why would I be scared of you? Are you new here? Which SEC school made the best hire? It's hard to say. Texas A&M got a national championship winning coach. I mean, I've never been a Jimbo Fisher fan, but he did win a national title. Of course, now that he's not at Florida State anymore, Florida State fan acts like he's terrible. So A&M got a national title winning coach. Florida got a guy who can't win 10 games or has never won 10 games, Dan Mullen. And can't beat ranked teams. Tennessee got a guy who's never coached before a day in his life. Who else? Mississippi State got whoever they got. Taylor, if you've never been to an Arena League game before, it's worth going to. They're very exciting. If you get up to go to the bathroom in an arena game, you're going to miss at least 3 touchdowns. I mean, there's nonstop action in arena football. Yeah, I live in Evans, Mark, and I grew up in Martinez. So I know where you're talking. And Hepzibah is not. Hepzibah's 30 minutes from here. So I know where familiar with all those places. Oh, you grew up in Martinez and moved to Harlem? Okay. I have a nephew just started at Harlem Middle School, made the baseball team. He's in 6th grade. Lou really likes Kirby Smart. Yes, Lou does. Will Kirby Smart fired next year? No, what's wrong with you? That might be the dumbest comment of the day. No, I didn't watch the Royal Rumble. Now, I watched wrestling a lot, like my last year of high school and then all through college. I mean, we used to have like WCW Monday Nitro parties and Monday Night Raw parties and all that. I mean, it was really big. This is a long time ago now. This is like the late 90s and early 2000s. And then I completely quit watching it. And then when Lou Jr. was like, I don't know, 4, 5, and 6 years old, he was all into wrestling. So I got back into it, watching it with him, and we went to a couple of shows. And we would record it every Monday night because he had to go to bed. He couldn't watch it, so we would record it every Monday night, and then we would watch it Tuesday when he got home from school or whatever. So I got back into it for a while, but he's 8 or 9 now and hasn't watched it in about a year, so I quit watching it too. Jared, I don't think that will ever officially happen, like the XFL actually becomes NFL minor league. I don't think the NFL would ever partner with the XFL like that. But I do think it could get to the point where the NFL teams look at the XFL players in that way. In other words, the NFL teams will start studying the XFL and would cherry pick players out of that league each year. I do think that's a possibility. Uncle Lou's neighbor. Favorite wrestler ever? Ric Flair. I mean, going way back like to when I was a kid, I liked Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Macho Man Randy Savage. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, George the Animal Steel, the Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal. And then sort of when I got back into it in my college years, Stone Cold, The Rock, the whole Degeneration X thing, NWO, that was when all that was happening. So I liked some of those guys. And then when Lou Jr. was back into it this last time, I liked Daniel Bryan. I liked who else? Brock Lesnar was fun to watch. He didn't wrestle very much, but when he did, it was fun to watch. Shawn Michaels. All right, Jared. Thanks, buddy. Take it easy. See you next time. Dusty Rhodes, The American Dream. This Uncle Lou's neighbor. Now, see, these are the trolls I really appreciate. A funny and creative name, and the comments are funny without just telling me to die and get cancer or whatever, which is just all some people like to do. Uncle Lou's neighbor says, go to bed already and get rid of those damn flashing lights in your garage. What are you doing, having a rave in there? I'm not doing another game tonight, no. Just the one today. Yeah, Nussmeier to LSU doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me for obvious reasons. I mean, offense seemed to be LSU's problem, so I don't know how getting Nussmeier is supposed to be the answer to that, but we'll see. The British Bulldogs, yeah, I remember them. Kevin Hart, not Kevin Hart, Owen Hart, and what was the other one's name? Owen Hart. The Hart Foundation. Can't remember the other one's name now, and he was the more popular one. Air Max, I don't think Paul Johnson will get fired anytime soon, and that's great news for everybody that's not a Georgia Tech fan. He just got a 4-year extension. I don't understand it. I don't know what the administration at Georgia Tech is thinking. They are never going to compete for anything meaningful or relevant running that trash offense from 1982 that they run. They're just not. And it's great for Georgia because even if for some reason Georgia Tech were to go on a run and beat Georgia 2 or 3 years in a row, normally the biggest reason you don't want to lose to your in-state rival is for recruiting reasons. Well, Georgia Tech's not even trying to recruit the same types of players that Georgia's recruiting because of the style of offense they run. So we're not competing against Georgia Tech, whether we're beating them 100-0 or they're beating us 100-0. It doesn't matter. They're not recruiting the same type of player. Hey, Dennis, how about that miracle win y'all had over Georgia Tech this year? Now, you know good and well they had you beat. That was a miracle catch that guy made on the sideline with 30 seconds to go or whatever it was. Georgia Tech had Miami absolutely beat. Nebraska will get better under Scott Frost, but Scott Frost is in for a rude awakening. He talked a lot of trash at the end of this season about how he thought Central Florida was the best team, and they proved it, and they beat everybody, and blah, blah, blah. He's going to find out real quick when he has to play a Big Ten team week in and week out that's not the same as playing all these nobodies week in and week out that Central Florida did. He's going to find that out real quick. I do think he can get Nebraska turned around, but it's going to be a rough first year, in my opinion. Yeah, Bret Hart, that's it, Ryan. I can't believe I couldn't. He's the most popular one, and that was the name I couldn't remember. That's going to be a good game, LSU fan. LSU and Miami. That'll be a good one. It's two teams. I mean, that's the best part about week one, right? You get to see a couple of these big games involving teams that don't normally play each other. And this is just a clash of really different styles here of football. But this is going to be an interesting game. That's probably the game I'm most excited to see. I don't think it'll be the best game. It's not the game involving the best teams or anything like that, but that's probably the game I'm looking forward to seeing the most in week one is LSU and Miami. I think that's going to be a really good game. As bad as LSU has been over the last couple of years, they do have a really good defense. So it'll be interesting to see if they're able to slow down Miami's offense enough to keep that game close and try to win. We'll see. I do think Miami is the better team. I do think Miami has the better coach. But Mark Richt has a history of losing these types of games. So we'll see what happens. You would think Miami would win this game, but I'm not ready to make a prediction on it yet. I'll do that when the time comes. But that's going to be an interesting game. Matthew, no, I don't think Tyson Campbell will make an immediate impact on defense. The transition from high school to college for a corner is very, very difficult. Very, very difficult. Quarterback is the hardest, I think, but then corner, I think is the second toughest, and then maybe left tackle after that. I would be surprised if he plays a lot. I mean, I hope I'm wrong and he comes in and he's just dominating and, obviously one of our best defensive backs, and so Kirby Smart doesn't even really have to think about it. He just said, wow, I got to play this guy. I hope that's what happens, but my bet right now would be that he doesn't start. Glenn, I like that game week 2. I don't know if it's because of tradition or what. It just sort of feels like that's when that game is supposed to be played, so I'm glad it got moved back to week 2. Yeah, Zach, I can see that happening, him getting in on some nickel, him getting in the second halves of a lot of games type of thing. We'll see. That's the guy I'm most excited about that we signed on signing day. So outside of the guys we got in December, this sort of second batch that came in yesterday, he's the guy I'm most excited about. We haven't signed a 5-star corner since, I think, 2008 or 2009. Been a long time. We've got some elite safeties over the last couple of years, but we've sort of struck out in the cornerback department. We've been able to get some 3 and 4 stars and sort of, make them good enough type of thing. But the last couple of years, we've struggled at the corner position. Now, DeAndre Baker is good. He's a lockdown corner. He's as good as there is in the SEC right now. But we've had a weakness on the other side going back 2 years now. Briscoe 2 years ago and Malcolm Parrish this last year. So I was excited to get Tyson Campbell, and I hope he is good enough to play right away. I just know how hard it is to make that transition from high school to college for a corner. So we'll see. Yeah, Tommy Bush, 6'5", runs like the wind, can catch. Wouldn't surprise me at all to see him get some playing time. And we've got some tall guys that didn't play much this year. Matt Landers, I think, is 6'5". Don't think he played at all. Jeremiah Holloman hardly played. He's not 6'5". I think he's more around the 6'2", 6'3" range. But those are 2 receivers I'm excited to see get an opportunity next year. That we signed in the 2017 class that didn't really get an opportunity this year. And, of course, you got Godwin coming back with Ridley and Miko. I think we'll be okay at the wide receiver position. I think this will be the best group of wide receivers we've had at UJ in a long time coming up this year. LSU plays Georgia, Bama, and Auburn, RIP. So does Tennessee. Tennessee's first 5 SEC games are Florida, Auburn, Georgia, Bama, South Carolina. They're most likely losing all 5 of those. That's just a brutal schedule. Georgia's weakness going into next year is going to be the linebacker position. Very inexperienced at linebacker. I mean, we've got a lot of talent. We've recruited a lot of talent at that position over the last couple of years, but it's unproven talent. Losing Roquan's going to hurt, not just from a production standpoint, but from a leadership standpoint, too. We get Natrez Patrick back, but you can't look to him as a leader. He can't even stay on the team. He can't, he keeps getting suspended for weed. So he's definitely not somebody you look to and say, well, he's a leader type of thing. We've got Monty Rice, Nate McBride. I mean, we've got some players that we've signed, elite, 4- and 5-star players, but until they play, you sort of scratching your head and wondering what you're going to get. So we're going to be inexperienced at the linebacker position. Not to mention, losing on the outside Bellamy and Carter. So we're going to be inexperienced but talented at the linebacker position. So defensive wise, that's my concern. Offensive wise, I don't have any concerns at all for next year. Our offense will be better next year than it was this year. Special teams, we get Hot Rod back. He's the best player on our team. He's MVP last year. He's the MVP this year. By far the best player we have. You get him back to kick your field goals, to kick your extra points, and to do your kickoffs. We do lose a great punter. We only had him for 1 year. He was a graduate transfer. We lose him, but we signed the #1 punter in America out of high school this year, that Jake Camarda. So I think we'll be okay at punting too. So special teams will be fine. Offense will be fine. I would say linebacker as far as to answer that question about the weakness. Yeah, this will be the best offensive line UJ has had since probably 2012. Does it make me happy that Clemson grabs and touches players? Grabbing and touching is part of football, sir. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all to see Georgia's defense drop off in terms of overall rankings and things like that, like, overall defense, stuff like that. We were a top 5 defense this year. I think we'll still be top 10 or top 15, but it's hard for me to think right now that we'll be as good next year as we were this past year. Dennis, the offensive line wasn't soft. They were just small. We had the smallest line in the SEC this year. But that's changing very, very quickly. I do think Georgia can have the weird part about Georgia's recruiting class this year is that over the summer, people were really, really worried about this class. Georgia fans were very worried about this class. It wasn't looking good. This was before we had Justin Fields, before we had James Cook, before we had a lot of the guys we have now, obviously. And people were pointing to the 2019 class saying that will be the class. And we're currently ranked #1 in the 2019 class. Now, there's a long time to go, and I get that. So I don't put much stock in the fact that we're ranked #1 right now. We were ranked number 50-something for 2018 about this time last year. So the rankings for 2019 really don't mean a whole lot right now. But people who are a whole lot smarter than me when it comes to recruiting were telling me that the 2019 class was going to be Georgia's best class ever. I find it hard to believe now that any class can be as good as the one we just signed, but we'll see. I don't blame Roquan for going to the draft, Slim. He's a guaranteed first-round pick, most likely in the top 10. There was nothing for him to gain by coming back for his senior year. I don't blame a kid like that at all that chooses to go pro. Yeah, I was high on Texas last year too, Mike, and it sort of came back to bite me. But I'm a believer in Tom Herman. And I find it hard to believe that they won't improve in year 2 under him. So I'm probably going to be pretty high on Texas this year too. All right, Chris, this is your last warning to either start coming up with some creative ways to troll, or you're going to get relegated to the pit of misery, okay? So I don't know if you're 12 or just not a funny person, but you're trying way too hard and it's not working. Trent Thompson will be second half of the draft, some 4 through 7, I would think. He should have came back, in my opinion. He has some issues, I think, outside of football that are pushing him towards the draft. Top 3 teams in the East, I would say Georgia, South Carolina. It could be Florida if Mullen's able to pull a rabbit out of the hat down there at the quarterback position. Or it could be Missouri. Hell, it could be Vanderbilt. It won't be Tennessee. It won't be Kentucky. Yeah, Roquan's going to be a beast, Joe. I was excited when we got Akil Crumpton, whatever to watch, apparently he wasn't that good because he had a hard time getting on the field. Crumpton's problem is he's a less talented version of Mecole Hardman, and you don't really need a whole lot of 5'9" slot receivers, right? I mean, so I don't know. He's sort of Mecole's backup, really, and I can't really see him doing much more than that. Yeah, Vandy is the best team in Tennessee for sure. Or Memphis. I mean, Memphis is good too. It would be between Vandy and Memphis at this point for best team in Tennessee. David, I'll go to my grave not knowing the answer to that question, sir. Why did Georgia continue to run Chubb in the national title game? I don't know. He was averaging like 1.8 yards a carry. Sony Michel was averaging like 8 yards a carry, and we quit giving him the ball. I'll never understand what happened there. No. I mean, I think Isaiah, he'll find a role as, you know, he's returning kicks and stuff like that. He'll never be a superstar in the NFL. I think he can hang around for 4, 5, 6 years. No, I do not think Jimbo Fisher will win a national championship at Texas A&M. I don't think he's an elite coach. I think he struck when the iron was hot with what's his name, Jameis Winston, and there ain't no Jameis Winstons walking through the door at Texas A&M. I do think he'll do better than Sumlin did, but I don't think he'll win a national title. David says, can Trevor Lawrence steal the QB job? I think he can. I wasn't very impressed with Kelly Bryant, and the Clemson fans that I know are sort of 50-50 on that. Now, disclaimer, I'm very high on Trevor Lawrence. I think he's really, really good, but he's got to put some weight on. 6'6", 205 pounds, he won't last 3 games. To give you a comparison, Jacob Eason is the same height as Trevor Lawrence, but weighs 40 pounds more, okay? Trevor Lawrence is way too thin at 205. 6'6", 205 is skinny, so he's got to put some weight on. If he does that, I think he can get some playing time. Most overrated player, Isaiah McKenzie at Georgia in the last 5 years. I don't know about that. We've had several players who didn't pan out at all. While I don't think Isaiah McKenzie was a superstar at Georgia, I don't know if I would say he was the most overrated. Favorite Georgia running back of all time? Well, it's Herschel Walker. I do think Noshawn Moreno is probably the 3rd most talented running back Georgia's ever had. And he only played for 2 years. And he's like, what, 4th on the all-time list at UGA and only played 2 years. Mark the Idiot Rick redshirted him for no reason at all. And then he played 2 years and went pro. Jalen Hurts is a starting QB. Where? Not at Alabama. Would Georgia take? No one would take Jalen Hurts as their starting quarterback. What kind of a question is that, David? Jalen Hurts is not a good quarterback. If he wants to play again, he's going to have to learn a new position, in my opinion. If Nick Saban goes back to him, then I don't know what he's thinking or what he's doing. Tua is obviously a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is just not any good. Yeah, Dogs fan, I agree. Jalen Hurts is a running back who was forced to play quarterback. He's just not a good quarterback. Thomas Brown, best UJ running back ever? Oh, my God. No. Gregory, learn how to spell dual threat. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, that's one of the most famous plays in Georgia history, SEC, dog, that no-shine touchdown against Florida. Tom Herman and Nick Saban had similar first years, both 6-6 and won their bowl game. That's true. Of course, Nick Saban lost to Louisiana Monroe, though. I don't remember Kirby Smart ever losing to Louisiana Monroe, just saying. It also took Nick Saban 9 years to make a national title game. Took Kirby Smart 2 years. Yeah, way ahead of the curve. Yeah, Swift is good, and I agree. Michelle was. I've been saying Michelle will be a better running back in the NFL than Chubb for a while. He's a complete back. He's a 3-down back. Chubb is a first and second down back and maybe a goal line back. Sony Michel can play on all 3 downs. He can block. He can catch. He can play slot receiver. He can even return kicks if a team needs him to do that. He just brings more value to an NFL team than Nick Chubb does, and he doesn't have the knee issues that Chubb had. Sony Michel, in my opinion, will 100% get drafted ahead of Nick Chubb, and it wouldn't surprise me at all for Sony Michel to go in the first round. Not top 10 or anything, 20s maybe, or something like that, but it wouldn't shock me at all for a team to take Sony Michel in the first round, and they're going to be getting one hell of a football player. I do think Justin Fields will be a good quarterback. I think he can throw the ball. Not just run it. So I'm excited. If Georgia was finally going to go down the road of a runaround quarterback, I'm glad we got the one we did, because I'm a believer in Justin Fields' arm, not just his legs. Top 3 teams in the East: Georgia, South Carolina. Third is a toss-up between Florida, if Mullen can find a quarterback, Missouri, and Kentucky and Tennessee are just terrible. Kentucky and Tennessee, you can just write them off next year. They're both going to be horrible. The most talented high schoolers are not in Georgia. Georgia's like the 3rd or 4th best state for high school talent, behind Florida, Texas, and California. But Georgia is loaded with high school talent, without question. I see that top 5 list of running backs somebody put, and it's incorrect, according to Uncle Lou. Walker is number 1. You're right there. Chubb is not number 2. Gurley is number 2. And then you can argue over Chubb and Marino for that next spot. Would you rather have Lawrence or Fields at quarterback? It's an interesting question, and doesn't it seem like Georgia and Clemson took the wrong quarterbacks? I mean, if you just look at the offenses they run, doesn't it look like Georgia should have Trevor Lawrence and Clemson should have Justin Fields? I'm glad it worked out the way we did because I'm happy with Jake Fromm. I think we've found we've found our pocket passer. I mean, we're good to go there. So if Georgia was going to take a chance or make a move or whatever on a dual threat quarterback for the first time since 2005, they picked a good time to do it. Justin Fields could come in and be a flop, and we still have we've still got our starter in Jake Fromm, who will be fine in the SEC for the next 3 years. I don't think Fields will be a flop. I think he's a hell of a player. I think he'll play right away. He won't start, and he's not just going to play garbage time either. I think they'll have certain packages that they're going to put him in early and often. I haven't seen that, Robert, the Eagles fan eating the horse poop or whatever, but I did hear about that today on the Howard Stern show. They were talking about it, and Philadelphia fans are wild. There's no doubt about it. It doesn't surprise me that something like that happened. Who are you arguing with, Joe? I agree with you. Michelle should be ahead of Chubb. Are you arguing with a troll in the comment section? If so, you're wasting your time. If you're arguing with me, then you're either not listening or you're not understanding. And also, Vic Beasley is one of the worst top 10 picks in my lifetime. He's absolute trash. He's horrible. Vic Busley. What a joke that guy is. Uncle Lou Jr. I'm your son. Hello, son. Oh, God. Top 5 defensive player since 2010. I don't know. These are things I'd have to think of. I liked Rennie Curran. Now, he was never nothing in the NFL, but I liked Rennie Curran. I liked you got to put Roquan Smith up there. Jeez. I like Bakari Rambo. I like the Alec Ogletree. I don't know. I'd really have to think about that. Those are some names just off the top of my head, though. What's wrong with the Falcons, in your opinion? Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff, in my opinion, is what's wrong with it. As long as Dimitroff is there and has any say-so over draft or personnel decisions, Falcons are doomed. The guy's a joke. He's terrible. All right. Bye, Robert. You're gone, dude. I mean, you can always make another fake account and come back and troll, but I've had enough of that. And it's real hard to get blocked from the Uncle Lou page. But you're working on it. I give you credit. You're trying real hard. The Falcons should have moved Dan Quinn to defensive coordinator and promoted Shanahan to head coach, and then they would have been back in the Super Bowl this year. And they should dump Vic Beasley. They should get rid of him. Whatever they have to do. Trade him, sell him off, drop him off at a Wendy's, whatever. Just get rid of Vic Busley. The guy is absolutely terrible. You wasted a top 10 pick on that guy. Yeah, I'm okay with Matt Ryan at QB now. He catches a lot of flack, and I get that. And is Matt Ryan a top 3 quarterback in the NFL year in and year out? No, but he's in the top half of the league. I mean, even people who hate Matt Ryan you can't tell me he's not one of the best 16 quarterbacks in the league. And in my opinion, quarterback is a hard position to fill. So if you've got a quarterback that's top 16, you got to go with him. Now, I do think the Falcons need to start thinking about life after Matt Ryan. I mean, he ain't getting no younger. Joe, don't argue with me. Vic Busley, look, listen. Make all the excuses you want, Joe, okay? I done been round and round with Falcons fans about this, okay? The dude had 23 tackles all year, okay? You have a starting linebacker you drafted top 10 in the NFL that's got less than 75 tackles total in his career. In 3 years, Vic Beasley doesn't have 75 tackles. Keanu Neal, safety, had more tackles this year than Vic Beasley has had in his entire career. The guy's a third down pass rush specialist who can't sack the quarterback. Well, what good is that? It's not any good. Oh, but Uncle Lou, he led the league in sacks last year. He had 15.5 sacks. Yeah, congratulations. He had like 3 games where he had 3 sacks. That's 9. Okay, so really he's had 3 good games out of 3 years. That's it. The first year, he was completely terrible and invisible. The third year, completely terrible and invisible. The second year, he was okay. But what happened in the playoffs in that second year? He completely disappeared. Vic Beasley in the playoffs last year. The year the Falcons made the Super Bowl. Vic Beasley in the playoffs. 0 tackles, 0 sacks. This is a top 10 pick. Vic Busley. What a joke. Trade Vic Beasley for J.J. Watt in a heartbeat, but no one would do that. Vic Beasley will never be half the player J.J. Watt is. Joe, I've been talking to you since you got on here. I'm talking to you now. Vic Beasley is terrible. Tell me I'm wrong. Vic Beasley is terrible. Sarkisian is terrible. Falcons' success last year was due to what? Shanahan. You let him walk out the door. That was stupid. You should have moved Quinn to defensive coordinator and done whatever you had to do to keep Shanahan in Atlanta, and then you would have been back in the Super Bowl this year, but you didn't. Instead, you moved Vic Beasley to some kind of weird you had that idiot in pass coverage or what were y'all? What were I don't know. Dan Quinn's a defensive genius. He's got a top 10 pass rusher covering tight ends all year long. What an idiot! And he can't even do that good. 1 pass deflected all year, Vic Beasley. Because this is what Falcons fans tell me. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about, Lou. He didn't have no sacks this year because he wasn't rushing the quarterback. He was in coverage all year. Yeah, coverage all year. 1 pass deflected, 23 tackles all year for a linebacker top 10 pick. What a joke, Vic Beasley. Grady Jarrett, Vic Beasley's teammate who you drafted in like the 3rd round, 100 times better than Vic Beasley. Yeah, Vic Beasley can't play the run at all. He's a 3rd down. You wasted a top 10 pick on a guy who's only good for 1 down. And he's not even that good at that. Dimitroff is one of the worst personnel guys in the league. He's terrible. He ruins any draft he gets anywhere near. Something like 80% of the linemen that Dimitroff has drafted weren't even in the NFL 2 years after he drafted him. The guy's a joke. I'm not a Jacksonville fan. They play a weird style of football for the NFL, which is almost like an SEC style of football, defense and run the ball. You don't really see that a lot anymore in the NFL. I mean, you look at the teams that tend to succeed in the NFL, they air it out. The Patriots, the Eagles. Now, the Eagles did have a pretty good defense this year, although it didn't show up in the Super Bowl. The Falcons last year when they made their run, best offense in history for the Falcons, I mean. So it was weird, and Jacksonville really had the Patriots beat, and it's weird to say this, but they almost got too conservative, which is weird to say because Jacksonville is a conservative team, defense and run the ball, but they almost got a little they got a little bit too conservative and just let that game get away from them. then they could have lost to the Eagles instead of the Patriots. Jared says, who's better, Swift or Ralph? Well, Ralph Webb is a top 10, top 15 rusher all time in the SEC, so hard to say that Swift's better than him right now. I mean, Swift's, has only been there 1 year, third, fourth string running back. We'll see what happens in his next couple of years, but you'd have to say right now Ralph Webb is better. Are we talking about college or the NFL, Joe? I mean, Joe, I don't know who you're arguing with. Are you trying to say that Vic Beasley is a good NFL player or not? No one on here can understand what you're saying, Joe. You must have been at Hooters all day long. I had too much of that loudmouth soup. Yeah, Bortles is better than Marcus Mariota right now. Marcus Mariota hadn't panned out so far for the Texans or Titans, in my opinion. I thought Mariota was going to be better than Jameis Winston. Now, part of that was just because I hate Jameis Winston, but I was sort of hoping Mariota would be the one of those two that succeeded. But so far, he's been kind of a disappointment, I think. I don't know. They've been looking for one since Tim Tebow. Proud TV. So I don't know when Florida's going to get a decent quarterback. Your guess is as good as mine. Vic Beasley sucks in the NFL, period. I don't care. You can throw up as many college stats as you want. You can say whatever you want. You can make whatever excuses you want, Joe. I know you're a big-time Atlanta fan, and that's great. Vic Beasley is terrible, period. I mean, they're end of story. End of discussion. Vic Beasley is terrible. Terrible. How can you defend a guy? How can you defend a top 10 pick linebacker that averages 20 tackles a year, can't sack the quarterback? The guy's a joke. He's invisible 90% of the time. How can you defend that? He's awful. All right, anyway, that's 2.5 hours. That's way too long. I got to go. But anyway, as usual, thanks for watching. I had a good time. And don't forget tomorrow, Dan Mullen video. Have a great morning. And Joe, Vic Beasley sucks.